in these sections, we're getting all these different revelations to individuals. Why do we see that happening in the Doctrine and Covenants?
In the early church, it's a live question whether those revelations should be included in the Doctrine and Covenants when they decide to publish that, right? So David Whitmer, for example, feels like, no, we've got revelations to the church or revelations on priesthood, and that's what the Doctrine and Covenants should be. It should be those directions to everybody, not revelations to individuals. And they end up deciding to include everything, right? These different revelations to individuals.
You can understand why, right? Depending on, because sometimes what they say isn't always pleasant.
Right? There's some rebukes in there. Joseph Smith himself is getting rebuked almost at the beginning of the book, right? And despite that, I think it's Joseph who's the one who says, no, we're keeping that.
Okay.
And here's what I think. I think Joseph wants to keep it because he understood that a rebuke or correction is not about him, it's about the principle.
Okay.
And the principle is useful to anyone. And sometimes in the language of the Revelations, you can see this. For example, if we look at section 36, verses 4 and 5, this is to Edward Partridge, but it says directly, and now this calling and commandment give I unto you concerning all men. In other words, it's addressed to you, but it's going to apply to anybody else. That as many as shall come before my servants, Sidney Rigdon and Joseph Smith Jr., embracing this calling and commandment, shall be ordained and sent forth to preach the everlasting gospel among the nations. So yes, it's to Edward, but it applies to other people. And I think some of the early saints understood that. And yeah, I think Joseph understood whether it's good news or bad news, it's never just about the person. It's about the principle.